As the season winds down, don't let the memories of an unusual season fade. Let Varsity Media relive the season filled with great plays, exhilaration, and joy with a highlight video. For the athletes going to college, Varsity Media's recruiting videos have been the engine that drives the application to the coach. Our history has shown a Varsity Media recruiting video has saved parents hundreds of thousands of dollars. For the athletes not yet ready for college, a Varsity Media highlight video will be remembered forever, and the highlights will be there for life. An end-of-season team highlight video will capture a successful season filled with hard work, unpredictability, a testament to the administration and athletes. Call Varsity Media today to start creating a video filled with highlights from a very unusual season. Highlights that will forever be watched. Contact us at 516-403-2050.
Yeah, quickly. We have it. Talk to you. We welcome you live to Northport High School, where this afternoon the Varsity Media Sports Network presents a Suffolk Class A semifinal showdown between the 5th-seeded Cougars of Comac High School at 11-3 against the top-seeded and undefeated Tigers of Northport at 15-0. Good afternoon, everyone. Dylan Butler here with Ben Turchin. And Ben, we're winding down the lacrosse season, and it's almost a rite of spring and early summer that Northport is making another deep run into the postseason. They're doing so as an undefeated team and really hitting their stride late in the regular season and now into the playoffs.
That's right, Dylan. They're looking for a back-to-back Long Island championship, which as far as we can go this year in our COVID season. If not for that, they would be looking for a back-to-back state championship. Carol Rose, who we'll talk about a lot today, one of the best coaches we have on Long Island, and she's got another top-seeded team, and for all intents and purposes, the favorite to repeat.
Without a doubt, in Class A, and again, we're down to the Final Four. Huntington or Smithtown East, they're in the other semifinal. They would meet the winner of this game in the championship on Wednesday. Let's talk about the Cougars for a second, and Comac with an upset and a come-from-behind win at that, too, in the quarterfinals. A 13-6 win over Sachem East, a big victory for the Cougars. This is the furthest that they've ever gone in the postseason, and they're a very young team as well. You look it up and down their lineup. You've got 8th graders, you've got freshmen, you've got sophomores. So they're a team certainly on the rise, but we will talk about one of their seniors, and for Comac, that means Samantha Pugh. The Adelphi commit has done a little bit of everything for the Cougars this year. Pugh, our impact player for the Cougars, 29 goals, 22 assists. She's the only returning player from that 2019 squad is Pugh. She's been on the team since a freshman, extremely consistent. She will be in the midfield. She'll try to score the goal. She'll set up the goal. She's on draw control. She is pretty much the do-it-all player for the Cougars. And when you look up and down this roster for Northport, the Tigers come in off a 9-5 win over Connecticut in the quarterfinals. We could have named virtually the entire lineup as our impact player. They are that good. We will though focus on number 7, Bella Germani. She's a junior bound for Stony Brook. She'll play for Joe Spallina there, and what a year she's had as well. 30 goals, 8 assists. another one of those. She can play the midfield. She can play on attack. She is an absolute stud for Northport on a squad really full of them as well. You've got Division I players up and down the roster. Northport is, as we mentioned, they're the top dogs for a reason. Northport, a 31-game winning streak right now. They've won 36 of their last 37, Ben. That goes back to an 11-5 loss against Smithtown East. Let's take a look at the starting lineups first for the visitors from Comac. And again, we mentioned before, right, how many younger players they have. First on attack, it's Sam Dickerson, Ashley Kolomachuk, the sophomore, Shannon Pike, and Amelia Bright as well. Bright, an 8th grader. You'll get the midfield line. It's Lily Pettit, Samantha Pugh, and Emma Hendry. Hendry is a freshman. Also, in that midfield, they'll kind of run with 4 in the midfield. It's Caitlin Mileniak. And on the back, you've got defenders Kendall Clark, Bella Lanza, Katie Abshire, and the goalie is Olivia Bradley. The head coach of Comac is Melissa Reed. In her 13th season, Reed, a 1997 graduate of Massapequa High School. Now let's take a look at the starters for the host Tigers of Northport. You see them here. It's Germani, we mentioned up front. Tara Walsh, Grace McCarthy, and Shannon Smith up front. In the midfield, it's Emma DeMarco, Kaylee Makowitz, the Duke commit, Ella Cabrera as well. They'll be rivals when they get to college in 2 years because Ella's going to North Carolina. You've also got Madison Dunleavy, who will come in for McCarthy because she's more of that Fogo, if you will, that draw control specialist for the Tigers. On defense, it's Angelina Longo, Sophia Lamendola, Lindsay Linville, and Charlotte McGroarty. And in the cage for Northport, it's the sophomore Megan Morris. The head coach we mentioned before is the legend Carol Rose in her 32nd season at Northport. She is the builder of this program here, a 1982 graduate of Manhasset High School. An overall record, get this, of 445 wins, 109 losses, and 4 draws. She's the winningest coach in the history of New York State girls lacrosse. And she'll be looking to lead the way for Northport.
We've got a lot to say about her as the broadcast goes on. Pretty amazing, the history and the success that Carol Rose has brought to this program.
There you see her, and yeah, I mean, the numerous halls of fame. Again, the winningest coach in the history of New York State, and showing no signs, certainly, of slowing, that is for sure.
You know, we do sports year-round, and we see a lot of great coaches, but in the pantheon of coaches, she's one of the best. It doesn't matter what the sport is.
We'll take a quick break for the anthem, come back for the first draw control. You're watching this Suffolk Class A semifinal on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
As the season winds down, don't let the memories of an unusual season fade. Let Varsity Media relive the season filled with great plays, exhilaration, and joy with a highlight video. For the athletes going to college, Varsity Media's recruiting videos have been the engine that drives the application to the coach. Our history has shown a Varsity Media recruiting video has saved parents hundreds of thousands of dollars. For the athletes not yet ready for college, a Varsity Media highlight video will be remembered forever, and the highlights will be there for life. An end-of-season team highlight video will capture a successful season filled with hard work, unpredictability, a testament to the administration and athletes. Call Varsity Media today to start creating a video filled with highlights from a very unusual season, highlights that will forever be watched. Contact us at 516-403-2050.
We welcome you back to Northport High School. Just about set for the start of this one. How did they get here, you ask? We'll show you the bracket right now in Class A. And again, Comac, the upset. They defeated Sachem East, the 4th seed, furthest Comac has ever gone in the Suffolk A playoffs. Congratulations to them, and you see there as well Northport, the top seed, having a tough time against Connecticut, a little bit more difficult, I think, than a lot of people expected. 9-5 was that final score, and the other two teams still alive, Huntington and Smithtown East. They play as well today. The winners advance to Wednesday's championship, and then on the weekend, as you mentioned, it's the Long Island Championship, and that is it this year. And so many times, we saw a clean sweep 2 years ago from Long Island in the state championships, always obviously the favorite to go on. So the Long Island Championships, you could make the argument, is essentially like a state championship. It's how dominant these teams are.
Yeah, you're right about that. And it's unfortunate that we only can go as far as the Long Island Championship, because it would have been neat to see them make the trip to Cortland and then battle it out. You know, there's some powers in other parts of the state, like Baldwinsville and girls lacrosse in Class A. You know, we've covered Cold Spring Harbor in Class C. There's schools like Honey Falls Lime up there. But as you mentioned, when push comes to shove, Long Island usually handles their own business.
Baldwinsville just lost to Cicero, what is that, North?
Cicero, North Syracuse.
Yeah.
Of course, I got to mention Pittsford. How can we forget about them? The Pittsford Panthers. Lopez does a great job coaching up there, too. That's Section 5. But it's, you know, it's unfortunate. And we didn't get to play non-league games, so none of these teams saw each other other than their region. But the cool thing is, at least down here, is it's not a big deal to travel from Section 8 to Section 11 to have a Long Island Championship.
These two teams met just barely a week ago, June 5th, the penultimate game of the regular season. Northport won that one handily, 17-3. In that one, Kylie Makowitz with 6-2, Germani with 3-2, Smith with 3-1. Walsh had a pair of goals. DeMarco had a goal. Cabrera had 2. A really dominant performance by Northport. When we spoke with the coaches about that, Melissa Reed, the Comac coach, says, look, you know, we learned from that game. We hope to have a better performance in that one. But she said one of the keys for her team at Comac is the draw control, because it's like in any lacrosse game you play on either side. If you win the face-offs on the boys' side, if you win the draws, you get possession. And Comac, if they get those draws, and they've been very good at the draws this year, they'll look to slow things down. They want to keep the ball out of Northport's sticks as much as possible. Of course, Northport, they want to push the pace. They're not a team, Ben, to run with the ball as much as they are these long passes. They want to have the ball do the movement more than their legs.
Well, we know Northport can put up a ton of goals, so Comac's going to have to play a little keep away here today. And it would be a big upset if they pull this off.
Misfire there at the draw control circle. You see it's Samantha Pugh, we mentioned before, for Comac, 14. And it's Grace McCarthy, the sophomore. And again, she's very much a face-off or draw control, in this case, get-off. There you see the ball. It's won by Germani. And the first possession will go to Northport. So Germani gets a GB as well. And here come the Tigers on attack. Expect a lot of cutting, a lot of movement. And in fact, we thought for a second that McCarthy would come off. She just switched her stick. She got her shooting stick as opposed to her draw control stick.
Well, you would expect Coach Rose to have some tricks up her sleeve here, give Comac something maybe they haven't seen, and you get that right off the bat.
They work it to X. Off the mark, aggressive defending by Comac. It's pushed back out, and there's our impact player, Bella Germani. Good feed to the crease. Dodge there. Looking for options was Makowitz, not there. She gets it right back. Makowitz in front, the shot and a goal! Grace McCarthy. She gives Northport the 1-0 lead.
You had mentioned cutting. Let's look for that from this Northport offense. You're going to see here as we look at it one more time, you got a cutter right in front of net. Grace McCarthy, too easy, 1-0 Northport.
For McCarthy, her 10th goal of the season. Terrific start. So not only does she get the opening draw, then she also gets the opening goal as well.
Well, Coach Rose saw something with her today and said, you're going to stay on the field at least to start, and she's still on the field, Dylan.
Yeah, Coach Rose said in our discussion leading up to this game, a lot of times she'll come off for another player. She wins the second faceoff. Another GB for Germani. She struggles, though, to pick it up. In other games, she'll come off, but right now she's just literally switching sticks. Ground ball picked up by Comac, so they'll look to push. And again, expect them to be a little bit more patient on attack. It's sort of that old cliche, the more that they have the ball, the less that Northport will have it. Now the Tigers, on the other hand, expect an aggressive D. Anytime there's a ground ball, these girls will look to eat it up. Cara Rose said in all her years of coaching, and again, it's 30-plus years, Ben, the best ground ball team that she thinks she's ever coached, and that
says a lot.
High praise for this group. Comac works it from X. Ball kicked in front, and there you see another ground ball. And it is scooped up by the Tigers. Loose ball out at midfield. That was Emma DeMarco, 15. Ball out of that far sideline. It'll be Comac ball, and maybe a little delay of game here. An early infraction there against Northport for delay of game.
I thought Comac had an opportunity. You talked about getting good quality shots. Just a pass that they couldn't scoop up in front of net. But you got to capitalize when you have opportunities like that, especially this early in the game.
Here come the Cougars, dodging from up top. Double comes. It's flipped out to the right now. 15 is Lily Pettit. See Pettit, by the way, she's an 8th grader. That's part of the theme a little bit with these Cougars of Comac, who are in uncharted territory, never have gone this far. They know what they're facing, obviously, in the juggernaut that is Northport, but how great of a sign is this for their future just to get this kind of experience going forward? Now they work it to X. That's Kola Maychuk, unable, though, to corral the ball. And the Tigers will look to get the clear. You wonder, and you'd certainly expect there to be some nerves, right, for Comac, again, having not been here. That was certainly the case against HM East, where Melissa Reed, their head coach, thought that their sluggish start was maybe a little bit of too much nerves, too much anxiety, but they settled down in the second half. They had a 3-1 deficit in that game, and Ben, they scored 6 of the first 7 goals in the first 5 minutes of the second half to pull away from the host Flaming Arrows.
So you give credit to Coach Reed for making adjustments at halftime. So I think that this Comac team is playing with some confidence. Down 1-0 early here, but I think they've settled in a little bit.
Germani, crisp pass. She gets it right back. Fakes, kicks it up top. That's Ella Cabrera, the Carolina-bound junior. Again, some patience. Northport not as much a dodging team. Again, they'll look to try to let the ball do the work, although this is one player who's got energy for days to run. And there's an infraction, so we'll have our first free position opportunity for the Tigers. It's Cabrera taking the 8-meter. Cabrera, goal! For Cabrera, Germani. 7 with the goal for Bella, her 31st of the year, and it's 2-0 for Northport.
Well, you can't give Northport the opportunity that close because they're going to convert every time.
Germani in that 17-3 win over Comac in the regular season had 3 goals and 2 assists, so she continues to have the hot hand here in the postseason. 2-0 for the Tigers. Just 5 minutes into this one. We go back to the draw control, where McCarthy has won both. Make it 3 in a row for McCarthy.
Northport will take that. And here they come.
Germani. And then there's going to be a foul there, a push. You could see it as she went to line up her shot. It affected the shot. So fresh off a free position goal, Germani can make it 2.
These are just so hard to contest in the game of girls lacrosse, especially with the speed and athleticism Northport has.
And again, nearly a carbon copy of her last. Germani's got 2. Northport extends their lead to 3-0.
Yeah, you're the goalie for Comac. You're just, what can you do? How do you defense that? They're just so skilled as you get another look.
Yeah, you can't certainly blame Olivia Bradley, the sophomore goalie there. So Northport getting out to the lead that they certainly hoped they would get out to, and quick start for the Tigers, already 3-0 at the lead.
Comac needs a draw win here in the worst way.
McCarthy back there again, the sophomore. For Northport, ball high in the air, charging in, and that was won by Pugh. And we will quickly, there was an infraction there, so Comac will get the ball, but big face-off win, big draw control win there, and Pugh gets the massive ground ball. So you see a little bit of switch there by Comac. Usually it's Pugh at the draw control, but they will switch it up. They've got a few different players who are capable of that. Now the Cougars look to have the response on attack.
Yeah, you win the draw, but now you got to capitalize. So, you know, Coach Reed is trying to draw something up here, Dylan, that can get Comac a good look at net.
Northport will try to double the ball as much as possible. Look in front. That one bounced wide. Backup was there by Amelia Bright, the 8th grader.
Comac had what they wanted.
It was a good look in front.
Freed up Maurer, Aubrey Maurer, just a little wide of cage.
There's Emma Hendry, the freshman. Again, only one player really to have seen time. And here's a free position opportunity. So after conceding to, here's a great chance for Comac to get on the board. Hendry, and her shot got deflected from behind, and who was it again? But Germani. She is everywhere.
That's an unbelievable play, folks. If you're a lacrosse fan, we just talked about it on the other side, how hard it is to defend that, and here's Germani coming from behind to knock the ball out of the stick. Unreal.
And the odds are very much not in your favor, right? I mean, if you contest the shot, especially from behind, more often than not, unless you do it perfectly, that's going to be a foul against you, and that shows you just how well Germani executed that play. Handoff. There's Sam Pugh. Hands off in front. Intercepted. And we talked about the ground ball machine that is Northport. And the Tigers look to push the ball up ahead. And Comac just trying to slow things down. In the sport of soccer, they call that a professional foul, just to stop the other team from advancing quickly. And now the Tigers will come back down the field. There's McCarthy, 17. Up top, 3 is Cabrera.
Dylan, if you're Coach Reed, you don't want to watch the first few minutes of this game. Some of their turnovers are happening right in front of net. Opportunities for goals that are going back Northport's way. So it's going to be a tough couple of minutes for her to watch this film back.
And that's one of the biggest keys, I think, for any team playing Northport is you can't really beat yourselves, right? It's such a difficult opponent as it is. Look at that cut to the cage and the sidearm shot and goal by Emma DeMarco. DeMarco's 16th of the year, and it's 4-0 Northport.
Again, we don't want to harp too much on it, but they are such a skilled team. DeMarco with head fakes all over the place and just has to make the goalie make a decision one way or the other, and these are point-blank shots that Northport is getting.
Comac calls the timeout, and we will take it with them as well. It's all Northport early on. The Tigers with a 4-0 lead. You're watching this Suffolk Class A semifinal on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
We're about to go in the commercial.
As the season winds down, don't let the memories of an unusual season fade. Let Varsity Media relive the season filled with great plays, exhilaration, and joy with a highlight video. For the athletes going to college, Varsity Media's recruiting videos have been the engine that drives the application to the coach. Our history has shown a Varsity Media recruiting video has saved parents hundreds of thousands of dollars. For the athletes not yet ready for college, a Varsity Media highlight video will be remembered forever, and the highlights will be there for life. An end-of-season team highlight video will capture a successful season filled with hard work, unpredictability, a testament to the administration and athletes. Call Varsity Media today to start creating a video filled with highlights from a very unusual season. Highlights that will forever be watched. Contact us at 516-403-2050.
We welcome you back to Northport High School. Dylan Butler, Ben Turchin here. 4-0 the score already for Northport. Goals by McCarthy, 2 from Beller Germani, and 1 from Emma DeMarco. DeMarco just scored that last goal, the Lehigh commit. One of the few seniors on this team. When you look at the starting lineup, and we talk about how young Comac is, but look, this is a young Northport team as well, where you've got Walsh, DeMarco as your 2 attacking seniors. And then on the back, you've got some seniors, but in Lamandola and Linville, procedure. So we'll go Comac's way on this face-off. So that's bad news for the rest of Suffolk County. Great news for Cowell Rose in the years going forward.
I was about to say, anybody watching this game that's a fan of lacrosse or in Suffolk County Class A, they're not too happy with what you just told them.
And there again, right off the timeout, an errant pass.
I believe they call that reloading.
So Comac able to get the ball off of that pass. And now they'll look to get something on this attack. They had a good-looking set last time. That's Hendry drawing the double. She hands off. Look how quickly the Tigers swarm to the ball. Hendry backs it up. The freshman, 7 goals, 13 assists on the year. She gets the ball right back from Amelia Bright. There she is, Bright, another 8th grader. Hendry flips up top. There's a look down low, and look at a great job defensively. And guess who? Again, Germani.
Yeah, but Pugh getting it right back. Nice job by Comac.
Yeah, Sam Pugh will go on and play at Adelphi University. Loose ball, scooped up. GB won there by Pettit. So that's back-to-back round balls now for Comac off that timeout. So you wonder if maybe part of that message by Coach Reed was just to settle down, calm down, let's play our game. They look a little bit more composed here. Great look from X, and there's the goal! What a look from X, and in front, it's Caitlin Mileniak. The junior gets her 21st goal of the year, and Comac is on the board.
And Coach is saying, see what happens when you don't turn the ball over right in front of net. We're calling great plays. There's a great pass and the goal. That could have happened earlier in the game. We could have a much closer game, but it's important to get the first one on the board if you're the Comac Cougars, and they'll take that.
What a great look, too, from X. And Mileniak, the junior, she missed about a week with a herniated disc. She is back. She's on the field, and you can see there scoring important goals as well for Comac.
It'd be cool if this becomes a rivalry. They're only, 5 minutes away from each other?
Yeah, I was thinking that. You know, it's far for a lot of other schools, but not far for Comac, certainly to drive down the road here to Northport. Back to the draw. And you can see the switch there where it went to 16, Aubrey Maurer, but that was a win. The 4th win for McCarthy. And look at the interception. Now the Cougars look to run unsettled. It's Pugh.
She had an open player.
Finds another. And a free position opportunity for Comac. You can see the attempted cut back to Hendry's left.
Yep.
And that's where the infraction occurred. So an 8-meter opportunity now for Comac.
I thought Hendry was open a little bit sooner, but it might work out for them anyways here.
And the shot was immediate. It was affected on the way in. The save was made on the bouncer by Morris. Ball, though, stays with Comac. They'll work the ball around the far side. Here's 11 up top. It's Sam Dickerson, the LIU commit. They work it to X. Look at that crisp cut in front in the goal. Kola Maychuk. And are they going to call? No, they're calling a push. Is that after the goal, though?
Let's see where. Yeah, I think the push came during the goal. That should be on Northport.
Yeah, I think the goal is good. And will we have an infraction here after the fact as well? I'll tell you, whatever the case is, Comax forced Northport to call a timeout after slicing their deficit in half. We'll take the timeout with them as well. There's 13:54 left in this first half. Back-to-back goals by Comac has cut their deficit to 2. It's 4-2 in favor of Northport. You're watching the Suffolk Class A semifinals on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Are you settling for a boring live stream? Can't see the players' uniforms? No audio? Camera not following the action? Consider a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Our announcers help tell the story of your game.
McCarthy. He's got. Oh, he's in. Touchdown, Farmingdale.
We feature multiple camera angles, guaranteed to capture all the action.
Touchdown, Oceanside.
Plus added features like graphics, instant replay.
Yeah, the shooters are going to shoot here at Bethpage, and one of many threes on the day.
Interviews, and more. It's your time to shine. And with Varsity Media, now you can. Contact us today and book a live stream broadcast with Varsity Media. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
We're back here at Northport. Dylan Butler, Ben Turchin, and the goal was good. So I think they waved off the infraction. Or no, actually, no, they didn't. You know what happened was there's no draw control off of the push, so it'll be Comac's ball coming out.
Yeah, that's a big win for them. Not only do they get the goal, they maintain possession. And I think this is a little surprising. I mean, after the 3-0 or 4-0 start, I thought we were on our way to potentially a big blowout here, but not to be the case, at least early.
Well, you saw, too, that it was that timeout, that really well-taken timeout, and now Comac with a lot of energy, momentum, I was about to say, but they did throw the ball away there.
And I think Northport has to match that intensity as well, because you have an upset-minded team coming here, desperately wants this big win, and you need the home team to match that same kind of aggressiveness that Comac is showing here.
And here comes DeMarco. Great lead pass. The extra look and the goal. A gorgeous goal by Northport. Tara Walsh finishes it off. And it's 5-2 for Northport.
Not too many teams can do what you just saw Northport do. We call tic-tac-toe. A bunch of different passes. Ball never hits the ground. Find the open player for the easy goal. That's executed to perfection.
For Walsh, the Auburn commit, her 26th goal of the year. What a great year Walsh is having. Great vision. She's unselfish. Excellent on ground balls. Just a well-rounded attacker. And she's extended this Northport lead. And a big goal at that as well. And we'll go the other way on that draw control. A big goal, too, because Comac had just scored two in a row, and Northport was forced to call a timeout.
Yeah, they answered the call there, settled down themselves. And it was just a real pretty play that Coach Rose executed there for the Tigers.
And that's a little bit what we were saying before, is they're not that like hard dodging team where it's one girl going at everyone else. They want to let the ball do the moving, and that was about as textbook as you can get it. There's a good shot and a great looking save by Morris. Her second already. She had one in the free position opportunity.
Well, we know that Morris name very well here in Northport. Her older sister's at Ohio State, so bloodlines run deep, the goalie position in that family.
And she's raised her level down the end of the season. Here we go again. Germani! Her third of this first half. And Northport has gone back-to-back to take a 6-2 lead.
Bottom line is you're not going to stop Germani point blank. If you give her a look like that, she beats her defender. Goalie comes out. Give her some credit. Attempted to block the shot, but you have a wide open net for Isabella Germani. She's going to hit that 10 out of 10 times.
And another one of those players, too, Germani. She could play both midfield and attack. She's on the draw team, as you see here as well. She does well in the draw, transition game. She's a dangerous weapon scoring. Good speed, athletic, big, strong. I mean, the total package for Northport, you understand why Joe Spallina has got a verbal commit from her as a junior. She projects on the next level. There's a draw control win, but another forced pass. And look at Morris coming out of the net, loses it to Hendry, who spins at X. And Morris will get it back, but do we have the whistle first? So a free position here for Comac. To complete that a little bit as it's outside the arc, to complete that thought on Germani, projects more as a midfielder on the next level for Stony Brook, and we will go the other way. One thing that you got to love, too, about Comac, and one thing that Reed pointed out was how much her bench, and it's not a big bench, right? We can count the girls right now on the sideline, but how big the bench is and just getting everyone motivated. Here's Germani, pumps the brakes on the double, intercepted well by Amelia Bright.
Great job by Comac defense there. Needed a turnover, and they got it.
Bright, maybe the hardest worker every day at practice. There she is, 27, handing off, spinning was Pugh out at midfield. She nearly lost a tire. Gets across the N in Northport, and she's intercepted, and that's Makowitz. Back up to Germani. She's got acres of room. Hands off well. Look at Walsh speeding through the top, dodging. The lefty finish for Walsh.
Was that a backhand? I got to see that one again. Kind of like flipped it, Dylan, with like the back of her hand. That was really impressive.
For Walsh, her second of this quarter, 27th of the year. And there's an injured player out at midfield, so we'll take a quick break. And we'll come back. Hopefully that player recovers soon. It's 7-2 now for Northport. 10:27 left in this first half. You're watching the Suffolk Class A semifinals in the Varsity Media Sports Network.
As the season winds down, don't let the memories of an unusual season fade. Let Varsity Media relive the season filled with great plays, exhilaration, and joy with a highlight video. For the athletes going to college, Varsity Media's recruiting videos have been the engine that drives the application to the coach. Our history has shown a Varsity Media recruiting video has saved parents hundreds of thousands of dollars. For the athletes not yet ready for college, a Varsity Media highlight video will be remembered forever, and the highlights will be there for life. An end-of-season team highlight video will capture a successful season filled with hard work, unpredictability, a testament to the administration and athletes. Call Varsity Media today to start creating a video filled with highlights from a very unusual season. Highlights that will forever be watched. Contact us at 516-403-2050.
We welcome you back to Northport. Good to see Sam Pugh walking off, and seemingly not the worst for wear. A little bit shaken up, but she's a warrior. I think she should hopefully be fine. Pugh, you mentioned before, the only player returning from that 2019 team. She's been on the team since a freshman. She's been consistent even from her freshman year. She's a midfielder here, but when she plays for Pat McCabe out at Adelphi, she will be a defender.
Comac hopes that she gets on the field pretty quickly.
So back to the draw control, where McCarthy has been terrific for Northport. Look at that, the quick wrists. She gets the win, and there is Germani again. So many ground balls already, but we will go the other way. So Comac, an opportunity to answer back-to-back goals, or excuse me, 3 consecutive goals by Northport. Dickerson hands off, and again the aggressive move towards the cage, and looks like we'll get called, I think, for a ward there against Hendry.
Thought that could have gone either way, but the call goes against Comac.
Or a charge, one or the other, but we'll go the other way.
So good defense by Northport. Give them some credit there. Lindsay Lindvall, defender.
Yeah, you know, that's a good point you make, Ben, because we talk so often about these players up front, right, and how good they are, and the plethora of goal scorers. There goes Walsh again, looking for another after that goal line extended run, but their defense is just rock solid with Longo, Lamondola, Linville, McGroarty. Really, really solid defense for the Tigers.
Defense wins championships. The old cliche.
I've heard that. So Comac looks to push. 4 is Mileniak. She's got one of the 2 goals thus far. 17-3 was the score out at Comac in the regular season back on June 5th. Some great defending there, handing off. Good cut at X. The feed in front. Look at that interception. Just on cue, it's Lindsay Lindvall, the senior, an outstanding defender, and just gets her stick up in a passing lane.
Yeah, after the timeout, we talked about how Comac was able to capitalize on some of those previous turnovers in front of net. But it seems like they've gone back that way, or at least Northport's defense, maybe Coach Rose lit a fire under them and said, hey, you know, we've got to be a little bit stingier in front of cage, and you can tell the difference in the past few minutes here.
Cabrera hands off. There's DeMarco. Emma's got a goal already. Described by Rose as a pit bull, a warrior. Ground balls. She has a great expression for DeMarco. You're going to love this one. She says, I call her, she's going to get it right, she's between the 30s dirty.
I like
she's just getting the work done between the restraining lines.
I do like that. Between the 30s dirty.
Yep.
Can't quite say dirty 30 yet. You know, she's not old enough.
Correct.
But you can do it that way.
Yes. Under 8 to go. It's a 4-0 start for Northport. Comac calls timeout. They respond with back-to-back. It's been Northport ever since, and there's an opportunity by DeMarco. Ground ball scooped up, though, behind the cage. You can see how quickly the redefend comes right from Northport. They will ride aggressively, trying to get that ball back. Bella Lanza, 8, had that ground ball. The sophomore, a standout on the defensive end for Comac.
And they're doing this right now without Pugh, who's still on the bench injured, and that's one of their best players that we featured in this game today. So Comac's kind of got to get over the hurdle with one of their best on the bench.
Yeah, so 3 senior starters for Comac. She's one of the 3, along with Sam Dickerson, 11, and then Katie Abshire on defense. The rest of these Cougars We'll be back for next year, and again, considering how many 8th graders and freshmen there are in the years to come. Oh, what a look in front. Turning, firing, and scoring is Mileniak. Her second, and it's 7-3.
Much needed goal by Comac and a great one there in front of net. Kind of stopped the bleeding a little bit that Northport put on, as you had said. 3 in a row, 3 unanswered, but now Comac right back in. And Dylan, it seems like they have been successful when they get that passing going right in front of net. Like you had mentioned Northport doing some passing, moving without the ball, but Comac's offense seems geared more to getting that pass in front of goal for a high percentage shot. And when they don't turn it over, their percentage is pretty good in scoring.
Mileniak, another one of those consistent players, and by that, Coach Reed says, look, you're not going to get like a 6-goal output out of her, but she's good for her 2 goals, 2 assists in that area every single game.
Well, they might need more than that today from her.
And now with Pugh out, obviously not at the draw control. And this one, McCarthy digs at it, and she gets the ground ball, and another draw control win for Northport. There's Shannon Smith. Haven't really talked about her yet. She was on fire against Connecticut. 3 goals and 2 assists. There's a look in front. Walsh is hammered there. And we should, unless she was in the crease by herself, but certainly it looked like she was pushed. So she'll have a free position opportunity. Here comes Walsh, the senior, against Bradley, the sophomore. And I thought going early, right?
Yeah. I think we're going to get a call here.
That's what I thought. They went early on the – you've got to stay – if you're one of the defenders, you've got to toe that line until the attacking player goes. So another chance here for Walsh. Officials just making sure everyone's settled. Walsh to the cage and a goal. Another free position goal for Northport, who extend their lead to 8-3.
Just another great performance by one of the seniors on this team. And pick your poison, folks. All of these players for the Tigers have such great offensive prowess, but of course you give them a free position like that, they're going to hit that every time. That time it's Walsh. 8-3.
Their third free position goal of the game for Walsh. It's her third. So she's matched Beller Germani with 3 goals apiece. And Northport has an 8-3 lead. Pugh on the sideline has picked up her stick. She's picked up her goggles, and she should hopefully have a chance to step back into the game. She's on the end of the bench, and the trainer giving the coaches for Comac, Melissa Reed and assistant Jill Hewlett, his prognosis. We go back to the draw control. McCarthy jumps up for it, and Germani another ground ball. Just watching, not even a full half, right? You could see why Joe Spallina wanted to recruit Germani. She is all over the place. And it's not just the goals or the assists. I'm more impressed with the ground balls that she's been scooping up and just having an effect on the game in all 3 facets of it, on the attack, in the draw circle, and also on defense as well.
That's why she's big-time midi.
Yeah. Look at this cut by Cabrera. She goes down hard.
Dylan, Comac's going to have to solve something here to stop Northport, but at the same time, you can't put them on the free position line because it's a goal every time. So they got to come up with something defensively.
Cabrera, another free position opportunity. And she scores.
Their speed is a problem for Comac defensively. They can't catch him on those kind of plays. It's a nice look, and you'll see it again here. You have two defenders on each side, but just getting right through, no problem, Dylan. Like, there's no interference defensively for Northport on those plays, so Comac has to come up with something.
For Cabrera, the North Carolina-bound junior, her 12th goal of the year. And really, her offense is more of a bonus for Northport because her job is primarily on the other side of the ball. She's like, to borrow a phrase from the boys' game, like that short stick D midi, where she's more often than not defending the other team's best attacking threat. McCarthy again jumps up, wins the draw. She's so difficult at the draw. One, because she's got the size, the strong wrists, that quick movement. And she goes to specialists. She trains at the draw control. It's her specialty, and we've seen how much in any game of lacrosse that facet of the game is so important.
People watching thinking, oh, she's a senior, she'll be moving on. No,
No,
sophomore.
yeah.
That's a sophomore, folks.
Yeah, we would expect her certainly to kind of continue this legacy of Northport of grooming players to play at the highest levels. I would certainly suspect McCarthy will have that chance. Here's Cabrera, gets a cross check, flies through, and taken down again.
There's 8 girls on this Northport team all committed to playing college lacrosse. We'll show you that list probably in the second half. Can't say that for too many teams around Long Island.
And that's just, as you mentioned, right, juniors and seniors. McCarthy is a sophomore. And again, you bring in the COVID situation, didn't play a year ago. Look at that great pass. Oh, the fake by Walsh. Her 4th of this first half, and it's 10-3 for Northport.
Just when Comac thinks they maybe have a stop on that play, no, the extra pass to the wide open teammate and a head fake for a goal. That is just unbelievably done by Northport.
You love the changing of levels when you're in front of goal, and that's what Walsh did there as well. That little head fake to create some space, and her 4th goal for Walsh of this first half. And again, 2 goals, 3 assists in that first meeting back on June 5th. So Northport's now scored 3 in a row. And actually going back to when it was 4-2 and they called the timeout, they've scored 6 of the last 7. Back to the draw control. McCarthy battles Maurer. By the way, Maurer, another one of the 8th graders for Comac.
Yeah, they're going to be a contender, folks. They're going to. If you're a Comac fan, we'll see what happens at the end of this game. But you're feeling pretty excited about your team moving forward.
I think you do, and certainly, Coach Reed wasn't going to concede this season. But yeah, listen, they were even saying it on the bench in that Sachem East game where a few of the girls on the sideline, that's my 8th grader, that's my 8th, they're excited about the future of this program. And it's interesting, too, because they didn't know. And again, harping back to the protocol or the pandemic, you lose a year last year. Now you've got 8th graders and freshmen, so they weren't part of this program. There's a cut to the cage and another free position opportunity. So these are players who Reed and Hewlett, the coaches, didn't know, didn't see before. And all of a sudden, first day of trial, she's like, wow, these girls are good. Like, it kind of came out of surprise.
No, that's great to see. Comac building a program. You love to see that. Northport is a contender. They're going to have to face them every year to get through here as long as they're in Class A. But it's nice to see some different teams give Northport their best. A couple of years ago, I think it was Middle Country.
And there's the finish. Another goal for Northport. Another free position opportunity goal, and it's 11-3.
Take another look at that. Taking it herself that time. And this time you have Comac's defenders flanking each side, but just the speed to get past them. It's just so difficult to stop Northport.
That was Kaylee Makowitz with the goal, the Duke commit. What a game she had in that regular season matchup. 7 goals and 2 assists in that one.
There's a former teammate waiting for her at Duke, Olivia Carner. She'll be very excited to have her in a couple of years.
So will Carner then help her as she gets to the dorms? And
we'll see. I think Carner will be what? I think she'll be a senior.
I'm more interested in the dynamic of, close, tight teammates of Makowitz and Cabrera. In 2 years, they're going to be on opposite sides of Tobacco Road. One at Carolina, one at Duke.
That is cool. I think there is another North Carolina player from Northport a year ago. So they've gone both ways, Duke and North Carolina from this program.
You mentioned Middle Country, of course, a couple years ago. You had the Ortegas. They were such a big part of that success. And a little over-aggression defensively. So a free position, or not, excuse me, just a restart for Comac. And there's Amelia Bright. And again, nearly intercepted. That was McGroarty getting her stick on that pass. And Comac just looking for something positive here as we approach 1 minute left. That's a great look. Oh, and a low shot somehow. Bright got that off, and another save by Morris.
Oh, we're going to get a behind-the-back low shot there. Could have made Sports Center. So close.
Oh, and here we go again. Another fast break opportunity. Cabrera, the look. Another pass. Back to Germani. She lost it. 45 seconds to go. Comac. Maybe one last chance here to cut into their deficit. It's Lily Pettit, the long run. She hands off to Hendry. 29 is Kolamachuk. She goes goal line extended. Defended well there by McGroarty. 18 seconds to go. A double. Good kick out. Hendry to the goal line, and another shot affected. How about Sophia Lamondola, the Geneseo commit, one of the captains of this team for Northport, getting a piece. The ball's forced in front. It's loose. Battle for the ball. One last shot, and one more save by Morris at the buzzer. So a balanced attack for Northport. Tara Walsh has 4. Bella Germani's got 3. You've got goals by McCarthy, DeMarco, Makowitz, and Cabrera. And how about the 4 saves as well by Megan Morris to make sure that Comac doesn't get back in this game. We are at the half, and we will take a break. We'll get some halftime stats and maybe even an interview here at the half. It's 11-3 for Northport. You're watching this Suffolk Class A semifinal on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Varsity Media is the tri-state area's leader in sports media production. We specialize in live streaming.
Gargiulo over the middle. He's got a man. It's complete. And Ciolino. See you later. Touchdown, Massapequa.
Videography. And photography. Covering all sports at all levels. We feature aerial photography and videography, college recruiting videos, live streaming of games.
Top of the key, Smith. Why not? Wow. Bang! McKee, first down and more! Charlie McKee! Touchdown, Oceanside!
School events, graduations. Varsity Media is available to cover a game, a tournament, a season, or any special event.
Talk to us a little bit about what went through your mind, how you prepared for that to run such a fast speed.
Currently, spectators are limited at events. Let Varsity Media bring the event to your fans. Contact Varsity Media today for more information. Online at varsitymedia.net or by phone 516-403-2050.
Welcome back to the Varsity Media Sports Network at the half. Our score 11-3. The Tigers with a commanding lead, and joining us now, one of the best athletic directors on Long Island, Mark D'Antuono. He makes it all happen here at Northport High School. Congratulations. Your team is off to a great start, the #1 seed. This is a very successful program through the years. What have you noticed here with Carol Rosa's squad in 2021?
Listen, Coach, the entire coaching staff's very committed, Ben. I mean, they break down film constantly, and the student athletes, they're so tuned in. They're so tuned into the process. They're so tuned into their system, and they work extremely hard. It's just wonderful chemistry that we have.
And it's not just them this year. You have been successful at so many other programs. I know baseball is in the playoffs. Basketball has been dominant. Talk a little bit about the Northport programs in a difficult year with COVID.
Listen, once we were cleared to start the high-risk winter sports, I mean, our boys basketball team and our girls basketball team, they were league champs. The boys team won the conference title with that win over Brentwood. And then that momentum, Ben, just triggered into our fall season. The fall season was great. Our cross-country team, the boys team won the counties. The girls cross-country team won the divisions. Our field hockey team, they were Long Island champions for the first time. Our football team won the league. Girls soccer team was co-league champs. I mean, the kids are resilient. That's really what it comes down to. And the coaches are so committed to these student athletes. And now we're here in the spring.
Can you give people watching, maybe not just Northport fans, but during the whole year, what did it take from the coaches and the athletes to get through what has been a very challenging year?
Even when our off-season program didn't begin in October, our coaches stayed in contact with the kids, trying to just keep their spirit up. You know, they strive to maintain connections with the student athletes, and that's what they did. And once when October came and our district supported our off-season training program, we hit the ground, running very hard to prepare.
We appreciate a couple of minutes. I know you're very much looking forward to the summer, but we wish the girls lacrosse and boys lacrosse team was just faced off about 7 minutes ago. We wish you the best and lots of success as we get through here the month of June, but also a summer vacation for you.
Thanks, Ben, and we wish Varsity Media well, and thanks so much for all your support throughout the year.
Absolutely. Mark D'Antuono, the athletic director for Northport High School, will take another timeout. Back with halftime stats after this on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
As the season winds down, don't let the memories of an unusual season fade. Let Varsity Media relive the season filled with great plays, exhilaration, and joy with a highlight video. For the athletes going to college, Varsity Media's recruiting videos have been the engine that drives the application to the coach. Our history has shown a Varsity Media recruiting video has saved parents hundreds of thousands of dollars. For the athletes not yet ready for college, a Varsity Media highlight video will be remembered forever, and the highlights will be there for life. An end-of-season team highlight video will capture a successful season filled with hard work, unpredictability, a testament to the administration and athletes. Call Varsity Media today to start creating a video filled with highlights from a very unusual season, highlights that will forever be watched. Contact us at 516-403-2050.
Back here at Northport High School, Dylan Butler, Ben Turchin, and you see the score. It's all Northport at this point, 11-3. We'll recap some of the scoring, and it's a lot of the same characters, right? You would expect 4 goals and an assist for Tara Walsh in that first half. You had 3 goals and 1 assist for Bella Germani, a goal and 2 assists for Kaylee Makowitz, a goal and an assist for Ella Cabrera, and Grace McCarthy and Emma DeMarco with 1 goal apiece. I think sometimes when you get a score like this, what sometimes is lost is what your goalie has done. And Megan Morris in that first half with 5 saves. She was huge just to stop Comac from potentially getting back in this one.
That's a great point by you. And some of those shots that Comac is putting on have been really close, point-blank shots on net. So a nice job by Morris to keep a commanding lead here.
For Comac, it's Caitlin Mileniak leading the way with 2 goals. Ashley Kolomaychuk, the sophomore, with a goal and 2 assists. 1 assist as well for Emma Hendry and 1 save for Olivia Bradley. Back to the draw control. Good to see as well. Sam Pugh, 14, back there battling as she had for most of that first half, Grace McCarthy.
Yeah, give her credit. We know she was suffering a little bit of an injury there, but nice to see her back here for the second half. Comac really needs her.
And Pugh gets the draw control. I thought she got the win, and then, yeah, she did. There she is, dodging traffic like she's on the Southern State.
I think they used the Sagatos up here.
Good point. I took the Southern State to the Sagacos.
Yeah. Is there ever traffic on that road? I'm not sure.
On the Sagacos, there certainly was.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to hear what you see from Comac in the second half, right? Where Pugh is back. There she is. She hands off. Good look. There's a shot, and that should. It was affected. No, we'll go the other way. I thought there might have been an infraction as Dickerson was defended on her way there. Instead, it will go to Northport.
Yeah, referee held up like he was going to call a penalty, but decided not to.
Again, winner of this game will take on either Huntington or Smithtown East. Quick turnaround. They will play Wednesday. If it's Northport, it'll be right back here. And the Tigers looking for another county championship.
Yes, the only difference between the 2 counties this year is there is a neutral site in Nassau County for girls. It's at Bethpage High School, where here in Suffolk County, higher seed.
Yeah, you kind of wish, you know, I could see it both ways, I suppose, but I do like that one site location, everybody goes. It makes it that special feel. Obviously, there's plenty of schools in the past. They've had some Suffolk championships at, like, Islip High School's got a great facility.
Yeah, we were at West Islip that has a nice facility as well. And,
yes.
and East Islip's hosting the LICs for boys.
Germani goes to X. There's Walsh. Kicks it back out. And there's another infraction. And I think when Comac goes back to the tape, again, they would have been trailing regardless, but they've given up 4 free position goals. And that shot affected from behind, so good defending by Amelia Bright. There's Bright now chasing after the ground ball. And she wins it. The 8th grader. And one note that Reed mentioned is you wouldn't know by seeing her on the field that she was an 8th grader, and I think that sequence proved that right there. Hendry cuts to the cage. It's not there. They'll work it from X. The double comes, and the turnover. Great defending there by Linville. Morris, who's really stepped up her game as these playoffs have continued, gets it to the 1 girl clear in Germani. Great look. Lefty finish! Makowitz. It's 12-3 for Northport.
Northport is so good transitionally. One of the best teams you'll see on the island. You had mentioned the turnover, the save, all that back on the defensive side. Coming back the other way off that transition, leading to the goal.
For Makowitz, her second, and Germani, her second assist. And it's 12-3 for Northport.
And it's really Germani who's going coast to coast, reversing the field. As you saw some Comac defenders, but Dylan, she blows right by them with her speed.
Back to the draw control circle. again, Pugh and McCarthy. Flipped backwards, and it's won by Pugh into the stick of Pettit. That's a great look in front, and that's been the story, I think, of this game for Comac, right? Where the cuts are crisp, you get opportunities, and then it's like either defended really well or in that situation just off the stick of Millenniak.
Or turned over. I
Yeah.
mean, that I agree with you. I think that is the story for Comac. And when you had said that watching back the tape, I don't know that Melissa Reed is going to watch this tape back. I'm not sure.
Oh, she absolutely will.
Might be one of those that maybe you do, but you don't look at it until like next September. Because the opportunities have been there for Comac. That's going to be the frustrating part.
So there a second ago, 32 is Julia Huxtable.
That's what makes Northport so good. You just have to appreciate how good of a squad this team is, and not just this year. I mean, we'll talk about Carol Rose in this half, but the history of this program under her leadership has been some of the best in the state.
Another foul on the way in as it was DeMarco slaloming her way through. And she will have the free position opportunity. She just hands it off, and there's Germani. Look at this run and the shot right in front. Bradley makes the save on Cabrera.
Yeah, big save there. Thought that was going in for sure. Give credit to Comac on that play.
Bradley's second save of the game. Loose ball out at midfield. It's Pettit. Forced to go backwards on that one. Comac trying to get the clear. Hendry hustles. And she does get inside the restraining line. Hendry a little more. The pass. And a foul in front. Great opportunity here for the Cougars. And it is Bright. The 8th graders got 15 goals on the year. Bright to the cage, ducks under a check, and another opportunity. Shooting space, so Bright back again.
A little more room here between her and the defenders.
And again, the defenders, and it looked like then it was Angelina Longo for affecting that shot.
Yeah, I think they took that as a challenge.
Well, that's
More
a
space, we're gonna come right at you anyways.
dangerous shot by Dickerson. Got knocked down in front. Here is Pettit, who hands off. And a lot of the offense initiated here by those younger players of Comac. Again, you've got Bright and Hendry. These are 8th graders and freshmen. One thing that Reed said that she liked about her squad this year is, you know, there's no cliques. These are 8th graders hanging out with seniors and juniors, and every class is all together, and it's so hard, especially when you have 8th graders who aren't in the building.
Right.
That makes it even harder, but this Comac team has been together from day one, and it's certainly one thing that as a coach that she loves to see.
Yeah, promising things for the Cougars in the years to come, that's for sure. And team camaraderie is a big part of that. It even helps when everybody likes each other.
And we mentioned before the bench. There's only 8 of them there, but they are a loud group. Obviously a little bit quieter now. There's a shot to the goal, and the finish by Hendry.
Very pretty play by Hendry. Tack on an infraction on top of that. But she had the wherewithal with a little head fake and the bounce shot to get past Morris. There's another look. Yep. You see the penalty at her head, but stuck with it there, Dylan, for the goal.
It's a good finish by Hendry. Her first of this game, her 8th of the year. She would have been an 8th grader on last year's team, but obviously after making the team in the preseason, the season was canceled.
Two slides, one go back to the center.
But she's one of those players who, like the neutrals who go to see games, or maybe the parents or fans rooting for the other team, she's the one who gets the most notice, it seems, most games, not because she's scoring the most amount of goals, just because of how she's really all over the place. And there's Huxtable again, by the way. She's a freshman, 32.
You're making it worse for Suffolk County.
I'm not. I think Carol Rose is. It's not.
True.
She's the builder.
They don't like what you're saying. Let's put it that way. I mean, some do. The Northport faithful.
Yes. And there's Germani backing up her defender. And she'll look to dodge from there. Wins the battle. Cuts it back the other side. Couple stick fakes by Makowicz. She gets it right back. Loses it off her stick. Ball is loose at that restraining line, and it will stay with Northport.
Thought Walsh was going to get another goal there. Bella Lanza, number 8. Good defense for Comac.
Hey, they're a sound defensive team. You know, it's not in our conversation with Coach Reed. One of the things we asked was just sort of about defending and face guarding. And of course, the first question is, well, who would you face guard on Northport, right? Because if you shut off, say, a Walsh, you've got so many other players. And she said, no, we play sound defense. Our players slide, and generally speaking, we're a very good defensive team. Another infraction, another restart here for Northport, as we're 15 minutes and change left in this one. It's all Northport, a 12-4 lead. It's Cabrera, goes down. She drew the double. The push came. So Cabrera has a chance.
Still on two.
As the officials will reposition the defenders. She'll hand it off, though. And the extra look, there's Makowicz, 11. The feed down low, intercepted, and nearly an own goal of sorts, as it was Lanza to hand back to Bradley. Bradley goes behind her own cage, and Comac looks to push. 11 was Sam Dickerson all the way back. There she is. A long run for her. Dickerson, one of those players, didn't play much as a sophomore, but she's coming off her best game of the year against Sachem East. We'll go back behind the cage. It's Mileniak, 2 goals on the game for her. Draws a double. Good pass out of the double. Another double, goal line extended. Nothing doing. Linville again. How great, Ben, has she been?
Yeah, the whole defense has been great, and I was just thinking, you know, that's what makes Northport so good. They're up 8 goals, and the defense might be at its strength right now, Dylan. Like, better now than they were in the first half with an 8-goal lead.
It seems like they take everything personally there, right? Where, like, you dare to come near our goal, like, we're taking it away, and it's that mentality, I think, that's part of what makes Northport such a dominant program.
To your point, they're probably upset they gave up 4 goals already.
Yeah.
They if you ask them, they probably expected a shutout today.
Here's Pugh on the restart. Turns, nothing doing. Goes across, and look at Morris.
Yep.
A great interception on her crease.
That's good. That's good lacrosse IQ right there. Step right through for the interception.
And an interception goes the other way. Although losing it was Mileniak. So 4 for Comac lost it, and 4 for Northport, and Angelina Longo picked it up.
You know, talk about the goalie play here for Northport. Claire Morris was maybe one of their best goaltenders in the school's history, Dylan. So to learn from your older sister, that's got to be great. just to have that ability.
Yeah, you always wonder how that dynamic works, right? Is it going to be tough shoes to fill trying to follow up what your sister did, or does your sister kind of help you then going forward? And it seems like it's the latter of those two where she's helped. And here's Dramati! Another for Bella, her 4th. And the lead is now 13-4.
Obviously, whenever you're getting great goalie play on one side, it's going to result in some decent offense the other way. And here's the midi that has done it all today. Transition, defense, ground balls, and you see a goal right there by Germani.
Yeah, we picked a good one when we had our impact player of the game, and Bella Germani. Don't know if Joe Spallina is watching this one, but if he is, I got to imagine there's a smile on Joe's face to see a future Seawolf in Germani doing what she's doing as the games get more important.
Yeah, we'll be seeing her in a Seawolves uniform in a couple of years. Always great to see local talent stay here on the island.
And Spallina has really built a national powerhouse there at Stony Brook. Of course, his kids are also doing a great job as well. Joey's only the top-ranked junior in the country. There's a great look, and that shot bounces wide by Dickerson, and he's got a daughter as well on the Mount Sinai girls team, and both teams still on deep playoff runs. Mount Sinai on the boys' side, the favorite in Suffolk Class C. There's Dickerson up top. Dickerson in that standout game in the last round, 3 goals and 1 assist. And again, that was a 3-1 halftime deficit for Comac that became a 13-6 win. There's a cross-check called on Dunleavy. Dunleavy, 12, a freshman as well for Northport.
Yeah, she's seen some action. I can't blame her. She just wants to get in, you know. She wants to get involved, hit somebody.
There's Hendry. I think Hendry and Dunleavy, that should be fun in the future, right? You've got 3 more years of that. And Hendry hands off. Mileniak and Germani battled for the loose ball, a little over-aggression. And we will go to X.
Still playing great defense are the Northport Tigers.
It feels like anything from like goal line extended to behind the goal, everything's being doubled then.
Yep. You see a double everywhere you just mentioned. Something just happened there.
I don't know if that was like an illegal pick or she lost her stick.
Yeah, she was like favoring her hit. Lamondola, now she's kind of kneeling over, so I'm not sure if she's a little banged up. See if Coach Rose gets a timeout when they get possession just to put a substitution in.
No free passes through that defensive line. There's Lily Pettit. She gets it to Hendry. Hendry bounces one. It's intercepted by Lamondola.
Yeah, I guess she's okay.
She gets the ball back. Look at how quickly, Ben, too, the players spread out and get ready to go on attack. Such an impressive just spacing by Northport.
They're like a machine.
Yeah. And if you think that they're well trained, well, how about this? When we spoke with Coach Rose yesterday, she was actually wrapping up practice on Sunday morning. So no days off here for Northport. They had a nice 2-hour or so practice on Sunday to get ready for this one.
And knowing Coach Rose and her mentality, the job is not done until the final game of the year. And for her, she wants that to be on Saturday.
Yeah, a couple more she wants, right? There's Emma Macklem, the sophomore. She had 2 goals and an assist in that first meeting. Macklem, great move to the cage. Feeds in front, the extra pass. There's actually 2 Northport players there. It bounced off and out of her cage is Bradley. Bradley, by the way, not only the only goalie, she's intercepted.
Jeez.
And the feed
Oh,
in
man.
front, as easy as you like for Makowitz.
Haley Greenberg, folks, number 10, the sophomore. She made that entire play. You have defense on the defensive side. You have defense on the offensive side. Running out of superlatives to talk about this Northport Tiger team, but she made the entire play, not only forcing the turnover, but the assist as well.
So 14-4, running time now in the second half. As we approach 8 minutes for Makowitz, she's got 3 and 2. A timeout for Comac. So we'll actually keep it here as we get a chance to talk about this juggernaut that is Northport. You mentioned Carl Rhodes before. We said about some superlatives for her. It's her 32nd year. And you see some of their winningest coach in New York State history. A 2005 Suffolk Sports Hall of Fame inductee, 2011 Manhasset Sports Hall of Fame, as well as a Long Island Metropolitan Lacrosse Hall of Fame. If there's a Hall of Fame, Carol Rose appears to have her name in it.
And look at all the championships this team has. 12-time Suffolk County,
Yep.
8-time Long Island, 2-time state, and by the way, defending state champion right now.
And they will be, in this weird pandemic year that we have, they will be a defending champion going into next year as well. An overall record of 445, 109, and 4. Nobody's won more games in New York State history than Carol Rose, and you love it too because she goes as a standout player out at Manhasset. And she has built this program from the very bottom, and they are currently the top-ranked team, not only in Suffolk A, in the Northeast by USA Lacrosse Magazine, where they are also ranked number 2 in the country as well.
Wow, that is some feat, and to do it 2 years in a row running, I mean, you kind of have to eliminate last year, right? It never got played.
Correct.
So this is back-to-back.
That's why, too, their winning streak is continuous, right? It's 31 consecutive games for Northport, dating back to April of 2019 when they lost 11-5 to Smithtown East. Interestingly enough, Smithtown East could be your opponent in the Suffolk A championship. They are taking on Huntington as we speak.
You have to go back to 2015-16, the last time a Class A school had a repeat in the Long Island Championship as a winner. If they make it that far, that'd be West Islip. And you know Northport's going for that as well. Can't say back-to-back state champions because we won't have that this year.
They'll have that chance maybe next year. Asked her about the strengths of this year's team, and she said she thinks it's the chemistry, Northport that is, where they're an unselfish group. They're a tight unit. For the most part, all season they've been in sync. They look for each other. We talked about those long passes. Oh, look at a crease dodge and the goal by Macklem. Emma Macklem, her 9th goal of the year, has extended this lead to 15-4.
There's just a good look from X. Finding the cutter. And we've seen it all day long here for the Tigers.
Macklem is fast. She's a transition kid. But as Rose said, she could also get it done on the attacking end. She scored some key goals. Generally speaking, when McCarthy comes out in that Fogo sense, it's been Macklem who's rotated her way in. But she's that Northport utility player Macklem is, where she can play anywhere on the attack, in the midfield, or even on defense. Job done, it would appear, for McCarthy. She's out, but the domination at the draw control continues. As now Rose can dig a little bit deeper into her bench. We're seeing Kennedy Radazul, the freshman, coming in. That's good to see as well, number 19 in right there. Almost on cue. That shot off the post. The rebound. Oh, and what a save. An incredible save by Morris.
We talked about Megan Morris only a couple of minutes ago. And she's saying, you know what? I can do it just like my big sister.
I was saying, good to see Radazul in. She's just coming off a broken wrist. So not seeing a lot of time, but there she is, 19. Good-sized freshman as well. That's Madison Dunleavy looking for that ground ball, and a push will go the other way. Northport a little more than 5 minutes away from increasing to 16-0 on the season. There's Dickerson for Comac. Look how hard Northport is still defending.
Yeah, that will happen till clock shows zeros.
Pettit, they go GLE now. Intercepted again. Loose ball. Who wants it? It's the 8th grader, Bright. He reverse it to this side. Mileniak up top to Dickerson. Her pass is awry. Scooped up right in this near corner well by Kolomachuk and continues this possession. Mileniak in front.
Ooh.
And it finds its way through.
Yeah, that was interesting. It slipped past Morris. I don't know if she saw it or not until it was past her. Let's get another look at this.
Was that Mileniak's goal?
Yeah, you know what? It was a ground ball that snuck in, almost like made a left turn. I think Morris thought it was going wide of cage, and somehow it got through.
Yeah, but a home field advantage, right? You're supposed to get the good bounces.
Was there a hole in the turf?
Somebody alert the AD. So 15-5. And even there, the book's got to check with the coaches. Who got that goal?
Right.
Sure. And off the draw control, here come the Tigers. It's Greenberg, number 10, the sophomore. Up top to Macklem. Another foul call, so great chance here for Northport to extend their lead. And it's Barbaglio, Bella Barbaglio, 24. Will she get another chance here as she's knocked down? And they play on. She gets to her feet, which is good to see. So no foul call there. Now Comac looks to push the other way as we approach 2 minutes left in the second half. There's Dickerson. The feed and the foul.
I think if you're Melissa Reed right now, you just want to see your team finish strong. Maybe a couple goals go through, but if not, just play some good defense, show some good effort here, and finish the season with your head held very, very high. I don't think too many people expected Comac to get this far. And there's one.
And that's uncharted territory. There's the goal by Bright. And considering how much work Amelia Bright has put in this game, that's a well-deserved goal for the 8th grader.
Take another look at this. It's one of the few times that Comac was able to put one through on a free position.
So for Bright, her 16th goal of the year. They have a pretty cool thing at Comac. We're going to try to get it in here with 2 minutes left in this second half. But if you remember, Ben, we did a Syosset boys soccer game earlier in the year.
Yep.
And they talked about like the mini ball that they gave out at practice. Comac has a similar thing. It's actually superhero keychains. They have like a pack of 100 of them, and they give it out to 2 players who are most deserving, who have worked the hardest, either at practice that day or at game day. And Amelia Bright, she might have like 15 or 20 of them by now. She's almost always one of those selected for those keychains. And, you know, the girls have fun with it. They put it on their backpacks and their key rings. Look at that behind the back goal.
That was very pretty, and that's what we were talking about a moment ago. Finish strong, don't give up, and that's what the Cougars are doing right now. So a couple of late in the half goals as we take another look. A little shovel, backhanded.
Kolomachuk, right? 29. With the finish. And Reed says she's got a great stick. She's typically that feeder from behind, but she could dodge from up top as well. And already, look, Reed was realistic, considering the last game was 17-3, right? She just wanted it to be a closer game.
Yep.
And look, I think unless there's a barrage of goals in these final 91 seconds, I think it's mission accomplished for Comac.
I couldn't agree more. I think that if you're a girls lacrosse fan here at Suffolk County, you're watching this Comac team, you know they can play. I mean, Northport, we talked about how highly ranked they are. Take that out of the equation for a second. Just look at Comac, and you're going to see this team, Dylan, for a couple more years to come.
Oh, the dunk in front. I think Bradley got a piece.
She did.
Loose ball in front. And we will have a foul, so another free position opportunity. And this one to Haley Greenberg.
Greenberg's been playing really well since she was inserted into the game. Had that ground ball turnover and assist that led to a goal.
Greenberg, the finish.
She gets it back. Sophomore.
Yeah. And again, not part of that regular first group, so you love to see that as well. A note as well about Olivia Bradley, the Comac goalie. Ben, she's a sophomore, right? So she'll be in the cage again. But how about this? She's the only goalie in the program. Like, there's no one on JV. There's no one on the younger levels.
Wow.
Like, she is it. So perhaps that's part of the offseason for Reed and Hewlett, the coaches for Comac, to find another goalie in the district. Under a minute to go here. Dickerson was trying to get her way through, and you'd love to see the senior. Here she is with a free position chance, get a goal in her last high school game. Dickerson gets just that. Her 20th of the year, coming off a standout performance against HM East. Sam Dickerson, the LIU commit, gets her first in the game, and it's 16-8.
Great goal. Finishing strong, something you talked about. 16-8. Not a bad job by the Comac Cougars today.
And listen, you stopped it from being running time as well. You were there, and now they've halved their deficit. Obviously, Northport will go on and win this game, but Comac can leave with their heads held high.
Absolutely.
Pugh, another one of those in her last game, gets the draw control win.
Yeah, Comac's still playing. You like to see that. Credit to Coach Reed. They are still playing.
There's a feed and another infraction.
This is also a good learning experience for some of the younger Northport Tiger players that don't get on the field all that often. And that'll pay dividends next season for Coach Rose.
So Dickerson hoping for her second in a row. Not today, says Morris. She's been great.
It's one of those plays where if you're going to be point blank, you can't fire right at the goalie. At least a head fake or shoot low or something.
10 seconds left. Can Northport get one more? The bench wants it, that's for sure. One more pass. Foul first. On the doorstep there was Barbaglio hoping for the ball, so 2.3 seconds left.
That's Shannon. He hands that 26.
Firing it on Cage. Bradley makes the save, but it's Northport advancing, and you see the celebration as Morris gets mobbed. We always see the goalie get mobbed, right? But you feel like the way that Morris played today, it's a little more aggressive there on that run out to the goalie and the celebration.
Well, what can you say, Dylan? I mean, we talked about it all. This is an unbelievable team, one of the best teams in the state of New York. They're on a mission. They're looking for a Long Island championship. This is defending state champion. You know, give credit to Comac. They played tough at times, and they battled back at the end, but too little, and just a big win by the Tigers.
Yes, smile on that picture. It's 16-8, your final. Northport, the top seed, go to 16-0 on the season, and they advance to the Suffolk Class A final. That'll be played on Wednesday. They'll take on either Huntington or Smithtown East on Wednesday, looking to win another county championship.
And Dylan, I think that's going to do it for us. I think this is probably going to be our final broadcast of not only the lacrosse season, but of the school year. So we just want to, you know, congratulate everybody, obviously Northport and all the schools that supported Varsity Media for the year. Obviously, we had Mark D'Antuono, the athletic director, on at halftime here, but the coaches, the athletic directors, the kids that have made it through COVID, pretty unbelievable and remarkable year that we got to witness here from everywhere, from Nassau and Suffolk, basketball we started with, and lacrosse and football, the whole thing. It's coming to an end for us.
Yeah, I mean, look, we all strived in our daily lives and also in our work experiences for a return to normalcy. And those people that you mentioned sort of helped get us there, at least a little bit here in this season. And certainly we look to do that when the fall season comes around as well.
Absolutely. We want to thank everybody that is part of the Varsity Media crew. Of course, the voice of Varsity Media, Dylan Butler, who's been on most of these broadcasts, that has done a great job, and our directors and our camera guys and really everybody that makes our productions happen. We have to give them a very big thank you and a job well done. We wouldn't be on the air without them. So like you had said, you know, that does it for us in this school year. But you got to follow us on social media, Varsity Media on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. We're always updating with news and things going on and highlights, so you will see us back in the fall.
So that'll wrap things up here. Want to also thank our guys on the crew today, Rick Roberts and Charles Jonathan, our guys giving you all the moving images. Tony DeMasso, our director extraordinaire, of course. Ben Turchin as well, my broadcast partner and executive producer here at Varsity Media. And I'm Dylan Butler again, thanking you for joining us here today. We wish Northport the best of luck going forward in the postseason. Comac, good luck in next year, and we will hope to see you soon again right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Good afternoon, everyone.